There has not been a single day this bad on the markets since COVID hit in 2020. U.S. tariffs rattling investors, sparking dramatic losses. If the U.S. president is worried, he's not showing it, comparing the market sell-off to a sick person in need of surgery.
I think it's going very well. It was an operation, like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing.
After firing the most devastating shot yet in his trade war, Donald Trump flew to Florida for a golf gala dinner, telling reporters on board Air Force One his tariffs are part of a power grab.
Every country's called us. That's the beauty of what we do. We put ourselves in the driver's seat. If we would have asked some of these countries, almost most of these countries, to do us a favor, they would have said, no, now they'll do anything for us.
This appears to contradict what Trump's own team is saying.
The president made it clear yesterday this is not a negotiation. This is a national emergency.
Let's bring in the vice president.
Trump's allies are now trying to sell Americans on their plan, despite warnings tariffs will increase the cost of living.
We know people are struggling. We're fighting as quickly as we can to fix what was left to us, but it's not going to happen immediately.
Finally changing U.S. policy to protect American workers is what Donald Trump is all about. So what you're going to see is factories going to be built here.
American trading partners are also being warned against retaliation.
If you're angry and you fight back to the greatest customer in the world, you're going to lose. We are the sumo wrestler of this world.
On top of the global backlash, there's some outrage at home, too.
Looks a lot more to us like the roof just fell in on American families who are going to face thousands of dollars more in costs.
What we face now is a gigantic, bleeding, self-inflicted wound that is reverberating across the globe.
America's trading partners, allies, and adversaries alike are getting a taste of what Canada has been dealing with for the past couple of months as they start to weigh their own responses.
And Katie, Donald Trump is signaling at this point that he wants major concessions if a country is going to avoid tariffs.
In his own words, he says he's looking for phenomenal offers, and that's really on par with the bold and vague demands Trump has embraced in his trade war. And he's suggesting more sector-based tariffs could be coming soon for pharmaceuticals and semiconductors.
All right, Katie Simpson in Washington. Let's take a closer look at the markets, which took such a nosedive. These are the three major U.S. indexes, the S&P 500, the Dow, and the NASDAQ. And right from the moment markets opened, a vertical line down, the results only getting worse by close. In the end, all three suffered their biggest one-day losses since 2020 in the beginning of the pandemic. Okay, so let's bring in senior business correspondent Peter Armstrong. Peter, boy, these markets are pretty telling, eh?
They are. And look, they're trying to send us a message. And they're telling us Donald Trump's trying to do two things at once. And he's trying to have it both ways. That on the one hand, he's saying this is a vast reordering of 70 years of global trade. But on the other, he's saying I'm going to try to do this in a way that doesn't really hurt American businesses or American consumers. I spoke with one analyst today who said Trump can't have his cake and eat it too. And that's what markets are saying. Sure, you can upend 70 years of global trade, but that's going to come with a cost. And today was the first day we got a real glimpse of what that cost might be.
A big question that continues to swirl, how realistic is a prospect of a recession?
Certainly got a little bit higher today and yesterday as well. I think the odds, though, depend entirely on what Donald Trump really wants. Investors say this sell-off we saw today was based on the assumption that these tariffs are going to get rolled off again in 3 or 4 or 5 months' time. If Trump is serious about that more fundamental reordering we talked about, this is just a starting point. For both the markets and for the real economy, stocks could fall much further. GDP could slip. We could go all the way into a recession. Inflation would jack back up again. Unemployment would rise. It would hurt. And the question investors have is whether Trump has the stomach to tolerate that pain, if that is, in fact, the plan he wants. And the sad fact of the matter, Adrienne, is we simply don't know what it is that he wants.
Okay, buckle up. Peter Armstrong, thank you.
You bet.